through about the meeting. I told Casper that if he'd ever get closer than this to my sister, I'd fire him. And I didn't throw around with him. I put him down very nicely, and there's no broken bones and nothing. He finally figured out that she's as mad as I am, and then left. So that's awesome. No, thank you for having me. I'm going to talk a bit about values today, because I think and believe that's a very important thing, something that I've also discussed with Casper, very sort of thoroughly. Just to give a short brief or background on who I am and my company. I can see some familiar faces, so you'll be bored for the next 30-odd seconds. But the rest of you, Shape is a development company. We have a lot of software developers. We are about 3.5 years old. We do mobile apps. We have one leg of our business doing consultant work and another one doing our own products. We work for everybody from a two-man company to Novartis with thousands of employees. We do products from a free app with funny Easter eggs to a full software as a service product, and have happy clients in both companies or both departments. We are profitable and proud. We do not have any investors, and we actually like that. We've chosen that. We love what we do, and we do what we love, and we have a lot of really cool people, even Casper, employed. And it's those people that I want to talk a bit about today. I've not brought any fancy PowerPoint slides. This is about as fancy as it gets. I'm going to try and just talk a bit from my heart, because this is very close to me and to what I think is fantastic when doing business. And I know who ratted me out. As Ole said, I love people and I do a lot of work with people. When you look at a company, a lot of people that start out companies think that scaling a company is about technology, it's about choosing the right servers, it's about making sure that your business model inherently scales itself, that your servers roll out on Amazon so that we can go from 2 to 1 million users with just the press of a button. I completely disagree. I do not believe that you will ever have the chance to get to 1 million users based on just technology. I believe that you need something else, that you need something more than that. It's not going to be your biggest problem to get from 1,000 to 10,000 users if you don't know how to get from 1 employee to 10 to 50 to 100. How do you make employee number 20 make 1,000 correct decisions? How do you make them scale your work? Otherwise, as an entrepreneur, you're going to be one of the ones that can't leave the job, because you can't leave the people that are in your company because they don't make the right decisions according to you. And then you'll just be you again, and that won't scale. So one person will never scale you. It'll always come back to you having to do all the work, and people never understand it, I have to do everything by myself. When I hear that, I just see failure. Just a big old stamp failure. You've done something wrong, buddy. Because your company's never going to grow if you can't have people make the right decisions. So what makes companies, and I'm just going to illustrate this with a few of the companies that are really successful, right? So we all know Dropbox. They went from 30 to 300 people in less than 2 years. Pinterest, probably more to go, second, 12 to 180 in less than 2 years. Airbnb, a company started by people walking around the bloody city, knocking on doors. Could you please try our software? Went from 3 to 600 people in less than 4 years. So how do you make sure a company like that doesn't just disintegrate and go into nothing? Another company I'm very impressed about, and I thoroughly look up to, is Valve. The guys that have sort of been nerding in the corner will know. They make Counter-Strike, they make Steam, which is an app store for computer games. They make awesome products that are changing the way people interact with the internet. They have no managers. None. So when you get into Valve, you get a table with wheels on, and that's it. You're good. See you later. And then leave. You can choose just exactly what you want to do. So what have these companies done to be able to make sure that their people scale? Because we can see that they get millions and millions of users, a lot more users than they hire people, so they're definitely not consultancies, right? What are they doing? And my thoughts about that has been that. So I've listened to a lot of clever people, a lot more clever people than me, and tried to sort of deconstruct it. What makes these companies great? What makes a company like Maersk or like Novo grow and grow and grow? What makes a company like Apple fantastic? And why is there a difference when Steve Jobs is there and not there? That's one guy. How can he ever make a difference? And the conclusions I've come to so far is about values. So I founded my company, and that is pure luck. It's brilliancy from one of my partners on a fairly strong set of values, and I'll get back to them later. But when you see a company that is led by its values, you see a company that can scale its employees. When you hire the next employee, you sit them down, you teach them the values, you show them how it's done, and they will be able to go back to that set of values and make the right decision. So you give them a goal, you give them a set of values, and they will make 10,000 correct decisions, and that will scale your business. So making a successful business, in my opinion, I'm sorry I'm at an idea competition and I'm saying this, it's not about the sole great idea, it's about the execution of that great idea. That's also why you're going to hear when you pitch at the investors, probably in the back with a little notepad or something, trying to look clever. It's all about the team. You're going to hear that a billion times. It's all about the team, but nobody is going to put the finger on what's up with the team. Why is it all about the team? And it's because the team is about execution. You're not going to have a product if you don't build it. And execution is about making the right decisions, going in the right direction. And in my opinion, that comes back to values. So a set of values between founders, there's probably more groups of founders here than usual. If you have the same set of values that you can go back and look at when you're shouting at each other, so shouting at each other Saturday night, trying to launch the product, you'll always be able to go back to that set of values, to that agreed point of why are you doing this, and make the right decision. One thing that values are is that it's not possible to copy them. You can't just, I'm not telling you to go into Apple's website and go copy, paste, and then take down that, and then just say, this is what we're doing. You have to do them on your own. So you have to make values that coincide with which person are you, and what do you do, and how do you want to do it. So I'm a farm boy from the southern parts of Zealand, and I really don't like the venture game. I like buying a little cow, then raising that, selling it, and buying 2 more small ones. So that's the way I like to do business. It's slow, I know, but I make money every year, and I'm proud of that, and I have employees, and I'm proud of that too. And that is a core part of our values, because all of the brat who told stories about my sister, and who's probably inviting her out for drinks while I'm here, is from the northern part of Jutland, and is a part of his nature too. So go back and build that. That would be my one key thing to suggest to you. I can tell you a bit about our values and what we've done. So the first thing we did, we met 4 guys, we had a beer, we hadn't met each other before, probably half an hour in. We started talking about not the business that we were building now, but what kind of a business did we want to build? What was the place where we wanted to go to work? And we fairly quickly, it took us an hour, came back to one word, and that was integrity. So we liked the word integrity, and I know it's a bit high-flying, and you're probably at the end of it, but integrity is to us a word that will bring us up in the morning when it's dark and stormy outside, and make us do that extra effort in making a fantastic product. So we have this one line that we write on everything, and that is integrity is doing the right thing even though nobody's looking. So that is probably pasted from some clever guy on the internet somewhere, but it works very nicely. And then we have a few set of things underneath that. So we have one goal of always being better. So we believe in better. That's another part of our company. That is always learning, always looking forward. So we have a really hard time sometimes looking at the products that we did a year and a half ago, because we're better than that now, hopefully. And we believe that by constantly becoming better, we will at some point be up there with the best, right? So that is one of our key values. Another one would be quality. So we believe in quality, so we'd rather build something that we can be proud of, that has quality, that we can put our names on, that we can stand in the metro and say, I made this, than build something that we're not proud of. So we'd rather build something we're proud of and put all our effort in it, or not do. So that is one or two, and that means that we're saying no to a lot of stuff, right? Because we can't do it properly. We're not good enough at that. And that leads us to another one of ours that we work really hard on, is saying no. It is, we participate in areas where we believe we can make a difference. And this is one of the ones that Apple also uses. There's a lot of people in the world, and there's a lot of people that are better than us at a lot of different things. But just in a few areas, we believe that we can contribute to something that will actually make a difference. And lastly, the last one is we believe in our employees. And that's a bit looking at a company like Maps that we also find very interesting. Is we believe in the people that we've hired them, we've chosen them, we believe in them. So we believe in their hard work, we believe in their efforts, we believe in their constant learning, we believe in their courage and their trustworthiness. And I'm sorry, but this will be in Danish because I don't have a really good English word for it. Retskaffenhed, so that we are people worth putting your trust in. And this is the part that Casper has to work on. So we always have to learn. And I truly think that if more companies were founded on that idea, you'd get a lot better companies out of it, and more companies would survive. So if you found your company on a set of values that you agree with your partners on, you have something to solve the conflicts. You would have better investments. It might not be that the idea that you have now is the right one. Everybody will tell you that. It probably takes 50, 60 shots at glory to actually get there. But if you have a set of values that you found your company on, then you can always turn. You can always go back to that set of values, go back to that ideal and work with that. And if you're as lucky as I am, and you found 4 other people that shares your set of values and beliefs, and you found something that will be able to make a very happy future for you. And I truly hope that set of values will solve your problems internally. It will solve your problems with your investor. If you get your investor to invest in that set of values, it will carry your business a long while, and it will help you talk to your clients, because you can tell them, this is us, this is who we are, and that's what we strive for. We might miss it sometimes, but we'll do our very utmost best to hit it. So that is one of my stabs at trying to look at creating companies and not making $1 billion fails. I believe in the $1 million success instead of the $1 billion fail. The guys, the ones of you that know a company called 37 Signals will probably recognize that. If you put your effort into building $1 million business, you can make a fantastic profitable business, probably with 100 employees, changing lives for people around the world. Do that as a step one, and when you're there, you can look for the $1 billion company. A few other things about values that I'd like to go back and look at is the process of choosing them. So make sure that when you go through it, that you don't copy paste them. I've seen that 1,000 times. Don't go back on a website and copy paste them. Make sure that they're yours and work on them. And they're not going to be stable. It's not going to be the only ones there, but it's going to be important for you to do that hockey stick. So when your great idea finally succeeds, you get more than the first 10 friends to buy your product, and it starts to scale. When you need to hire those 50 people, when you're like Pinterest hiring people in batches of 15, as I said at one point, we are training our employees and our developers in batches of 15, then you actually have people getting into your company that will actually be able to make a difference, and that will move your company in the right direction, instead of making sort of epic fails on the front page of the X Journal. So look to yourselves, make a core set of values, and build something fantastic for the world to enjoy. Thank you for your time, and good luck.
Big guy. So before you leave the stage, don't worry, it's not about Casper or anything. I just read somewhere that you said you're something like you're a fan of simplicity.
Yes.
You love simplicity. And being an entrepreneur myself and having started these companies, I learned that it's often like a complex exercise to actually do it. So is life as an entrepreneur simple, or how can you make it more simple since you're a fan of this?
Well, if I had a solution, I'd probably have that $1 billion company right now.
Yes.
But you make a lot of choices when you start a company, and I've made mine, and I put my world into a small little schedule. That's how I work. But the simplicity, ever since Steve Jobs said that one line somewhere in an interview, everybody's been chasing it, and it is a hard thing. I believe one of Apple's values is we believe in the simple, not the complex, and that is a hard part about making companies. It makes a lot of choices. You have to say no a lot, and if you're an entrepreneur by heart, that's something that's tough. So the part about learning to say no is probably the most important thing. You can only do a few good things good. You can't do all of it. So a lot of it has been learning just to say, well, Lars down there is probably better at doing bottles than I am, so I'll let him do it, even though it's a great idea.
Good answer. One more thing, I don't know if it's already been solved. I read in Danish newspaper Politiken, I think it's maybe like 6 months ago. You're kind of frustrated that it was impossible here in Denmark to find good developers for iPhone.
Yeah, with good developers
in general. Since this is also a networking idea, if there is somebody here in the room who's a great developer, can he contact you in the break? Get your business card, get a job maybe a date with the...
I'd rather hire a 50% developer with the right values. So if he has the right values, I'll hire
a 50% developer with the right values. If you're out there might be a job. Somebody's already waiting. Thank you, Christian.